Hi everyone, it's Raid Kitty, and I'm here with my Raid Kitty S'mores, and today we're going to be detailing in City Skylines, working on the portion of the amusement park that we built last episode. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish building out these plazas. A lot of what I'm going to be finding this episode is going to be using the Find It tool. I find that a lot of the decals and things I want are unsorted, and so using that Find It tool has been extremely useful. And I also will be using a lot of Move It to put things where I want. Of course, Anarchy is just a must. So one of the things I really want to do with this build, and then I really focus on, is a lot of places to sit, a lot of connectivity, a lot of places to eat, and of course, a lot of landscaping. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go section by section instead of just focusing on landscaping or just focusing on plazas or tables. I'm going to go section by section to make sure I don't miss anything. And I feel like it's important to continue to build out portions of these assets. So for instance, these tables are already in the plaza that comes with under the Parks tab. And then I just go in to find it and I search up parasol. They're not called umbrellas, they're called parasols or parasol, or anyway, you know what I'm saying. And I put those over the tables. And then I don't have Surface Painter yet, so I'm actually using the pathways to put that cement in. And I'm going to use the crowd barriers to create a longer line. I feel like big rides like this are going to have queues that kind of wrap around. Think of like, your big theme parks like your Six Flags or your Disneyland or your Disney World, where they kind of wrap people around and around and around to make sure that, they're constantly feel like they're moving. So I think especially for this one, the roller coaster, maybe the swing, those ones are going to have a little bit longer of the queuing lines. And I want to make sure that in these lines as well, they have trash cans, places to sit, some cover and things like that. And of course, the Sims aren't going to actually, use these, because why would they care what I spent time, energy, money, love, sanity on? They're just going to walk right through it. And in places like this, trash cans are so important. I've played some Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I've played some of those games where trash is a huge indicator of how good something is going. So you actually build up trash. So I wanted to make sure trash cans are going to be here. And then, I'm going to place some billboards in for advertising for different parts of the, the county fair, potentially advertising for different companies and corporations that are here in this city. Oops. All right, so now let's add some trees for some shade so that people can actually sit along the side too if they want. Maybe their kids are waiting in line and they don't really want to stand. Or, grandpa wants to watch the kids have a good time, but also just doesn't want to stand. So we're going to add a couple trees over here, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. If you can't tell, I really like my landscaping. All right, so here I want to add, again, a little place to sit. I'm going to add a little, potentially a grill area. So let's add some tables. And I'm not going to put everything straight because, people move them around. So I think it adds a little character to skew them a little bit. We're going to add just a little bit of landscaping to provide some shade. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing. One of the other things I want to really focus on in this build is... I'm going to add a ticket booth here. One of the other things I want to focus on in this build is how to use assets in unique ways. So... How do we play pretend, right? How do we use assets that have a purpose in the game and make them look different? All right, so with these, I had mentioned in the last episode that I placed them in the middle for a reason. So I want to build a fence around it because I want, you know, people are going to come in. I want to keep them contained. And so people would actually walk up to these rides and, you know, enter into them. So each of these rides are going to kind of be fenced in. And I'm just going to copy and use the same tool so I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. And again, we're pretending that all of these rides and all these booths are not the exact same, even though they very clearly are the exact same in this moment. So let's build another smaller one. I'm just making them octagonal. I think that those are a nice shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, octagonal. I am a geometry wizard. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some entrances in with these fences. So I can do one of two things. I can either delete the fences and draw new ones in, or as you'll see here in a second, I'm actually going to use the network multi-tool. I'm going to add some nodes, and then we're going to delete the interior section. But right now, let's continue adding some detailing. So let's add a ticket booth for, you know, or like a ride operator booth area for someone who's running this teacup. Place for them to sit, to direct, you know, children traffic in and off the ride, make sure that everything's going well, start, stop button, etc., etc. And you know what, I'm not actually too happy with this, so let's go ahead and actually change it to the info booth. Yeah, that one. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to put that in. Ah, perfect. I like that a lot better. All right, so now we're going to do the same thing here, but instead I'm going to use Move It, and I'm just going to copy and turn that around. Okay, so let's do the same thing on some of these other rides. So like I had mentioned, I'm going to use the network multi-tool and add some nodes in, and then I'm going to use Move It to drag these forward. I don't know that some of these need as long of a entranceway for the children as other places. I'm going to do the same thing on the game booths over here too. Okay, so now let's run some paths, because I did put these together and I didn't leave the room like I normally would between those. I'm going to use anarchy, and I'm going to anarchy in that path. So I don't know that those are going to be used, but I like the idea that those function as a circle and not like two halves of a pathway. And then of course, you know me and my symmetry, let's put these right in the center. And you know what I'm thinking? Is I'm gonna need to add a little like food area over here. So each of these sections I kind of want a little unique. So let's go ahead and put some soda machines, a grill, some seating, and some signage to go along with it. And adding details like these is really what makes parts of your town come to life. You know, I could just landscape it and call it a day, but I think the fun thing is coming back in and looking and finding all of these little things that you created and, you know, really trying to make it look unique. And of course, there are going to be areas I'm just going to leave as landscaping because I don't want everything full, but I want it to feel completed. And I feel like without these little details, without the landscaping, without the signage, I really start losing the detail that's gonna make this unique and going to make me proud. So I'm gonna make a smaller little tree over here so people can see the signs and know where to go. And I think back here, I'm just gonna stick with some landscaping. Maybe add some rocks, baby rocks. Sometimes I wish they were, you know, size between medium and teeny tiny itty bitty yellow polka dot rocks. And then I think I'm going to move this over, and in this little area, I'm going to use the traffic park, the unique building, and I'm going to put that in as like another little kiddie area, almost like an educational plaza for children. And then let's back it up a little bit after I put these in, and I think I'd like some seating in the front for adults who want to come and watch their children partake. So let's go ahead and build that in too. I say partake as if, you know, they're going to be partaking in food or beverage, but I more mean partake in education and partake in fun. But we're going to put some tiles down and we're going to make this a plaza. And so even though no one's going to use this, it's going to look nice once it's completed. And we're just going to lay down one level, use move it, copy, paste, and finish that up. Let's add some seating, some little fun rides like the coin operated rides, little balloon, some little horsies, some parasols so we have some shade to protect from the hot summer sun. Much nicer. And then one of the things that I want to add too are directional signs. You know, so you'd see it point to different rides, different locations, different zones of entertainment. And so I want to make sure that at a lot of intersections are these signs. All right, so now that we're done with that, let's continue detailing back behind these game booths. We're going to add the same type of tree. There's not a whole lot other than landscaping I really want to add here. There are lots of places to get food and beverage, so I don't want to add too many of those places. I just want to make sure that there's just enough. So we're going to add mostly landscaping for the rest of this. But now that I think about it, I might want to add some of these tents that I got off the workshop. And I'm going to add some covered seating back here. I'm going to zoom in real close, and let's add some tables. Function as a little picnic area, an alternative to the, what's what I'm looking for, like the ramadas. And then I'm going to use these yakisoba noodle stands along with some of the grills. And let's add some more signs. I'm going to use some of the things that you would find, like the ferry signs. I think that's kind of a neat asset. It almost looks like a menu or a like an event calendar, like a schedule. And I think I may use that ferry sign that you would find at the ferry stop as like an event schedule, right? You know, oh, this plaza is holding the wild bird show at 2:00, that kind of stuff. Rocks, 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 trees, landscaping. So I want people to be able to access these, and I also don't want it to continually yell at me that there's no road access. So we're going to add some road access for these guys. And then we're going to add some tiles for some seating areas, some places for people to sit, as well as some more landscaping. So I'm really glad I did break this up into 2 episodes. This is, you know, a ridiculously huge amount of detailing. And, you know, detailing is not up everyone's alley, and I don't expect everyone to enjoy this level of detailing and this level of explanation of you know, what I'm doing, but I'm really proud of this. I had a great time doing this. and I think I'm going to continue this level of detailing in the future of my build because, you know, it makes me feel so proud of these little areas. And I want to make these areas that I want to visit, not just, you know, building to make things happen. And there's nothing wrong, you know, with building to make money or doing fun things in this game, right? It's a simulation game. You can do whatever you want. You know, you can make the worst city you want. You could destroy it all with, you know, earthquakes. But this is something that I really enjoy, is making these huge parks. So we're gonna add more of the crowd barricades for this set of fencing, and then let's go ahead and start decorating around the giant swing. I don't often like to use these pink and purple trees, but I feel like places like amusement parks are a great place to put these pink and purple trees. Just because personally, I think they look kind of fake. You know, they look like cotton candy trees. Cotton candy trees. So good. And then here I'm going to continue the barriers that are already part of this asset, and we're just going to increase them to make more room for queuing. And again, trash cans. I think outside each of these rides, I want to put this like chirpy amusement park sign. I think that it again adds something where, you know, you'd walk up to the ride, it would tell you your height restriction and that kind of stuff. So I want to make sure I put those in all the rides. And let's add a Ramada for sitting. Add a little grill. Creepy clown, don't like that. So, in all honesty, as I'm sure y'all can tell, I am post-production narrating this. I had my microphone muted for all of the detailing, and I decided that I didn't want to do a 30-ish minute or 40-ish minute music-only detailing. So I'm trying to figure out what in the world I was thinking. And it's kind of neat to go back and watch. So if I seem awkward or slightly ahead or even slightly behind what's actually going on, it's because I'm narrating in post. Narrating in post. Add more bathrooms and amusement shops. Lots of places to sit. I know I don't need to fill up all of this space. But one of the things I think is interesting is when I don't have landscaping, it feels unfinished. So I'm going to try and mimic the fence that's on this haunted house. And I want to make this area unique. I want to make it scary. I want to make it, you know, dark and terrifying. So I'm going to use the ruins from the graveyard. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and anarchy that in. I'm going to try and align it with the fence. And I think that just kind of adds an additional element, potentially something that people who visit can walk around. Maybe there's a historical significance, places to sit, things to see, and it adds a certain ambiance, if you will, to this haunted house. And again, apparently my favorite asset of the night, trash cans, and more trash cans. Now let's add some trees. This is going to be the heaviest, in my opinion, of areas because the trees kind of make it spooky. And honestly, this is a perfect place for these creepy clowns, because those for some reason pop up on buildings, and I've never quite understood why. Alright, so let's get this roller coaster all decorated up. I want to add some places to sit along this route. Around the roller coaster, you know, if I'm too scared to go on a ride, my friends want to go, I want to make sure I have places to watch. Of course, far enough away in case anyone loses their lunch, but close enough to hear my friends screaming. Again, trash cans. I feel like I have one trash can per sim in this town at this point. So I don't want to add too many trees because I don't want them to get in the way of the ride. But some landscaping is not terrible. So I think I want to extend these tiles forward a little bit and kind of finish off this area, make it feel more complete. And again, we'll add some queuing lines here. We're going to really wrap this one around because I feel like this one's going to be a pretty popular one. Ah, yes. Beautiful. Guess what? More trash cans. I'm adding more of these chirpy signs everywhere to make sure every ride and every game booth has an explanation of what's going on, age group, height restrictions, what the ride is, you know, the what is it? Don't ride if you have hypertension, heart problems, or pregnant. I don't know what the other ones are. Without an adult, maybe. Let's add some tables. Again, I want to kind of move them around, put them at an angle. Looks like people have actually been sitting and moving them around. And I bet you can't guess what I'm about to add. Trash cans. People will not walk very far to throw away their trash, so I have to put trash cans everywhere. Not that this game has a pedestrian trash mechanic, but if it did, trust me, there'd be trash everywhere. All right, let's do this drop tower. Move it over a little bit so I have more room. I'm gonna add some fencing. I'm trying to add this left side over here so people can, you know, they can queue to get on and then exit around the line. Alright, let's add some landscaping. Finish up this area a little bit. Let's add a little food cart, ice cream truck. Yeah, I like the ice cream cone. Places to sit. I think this area is really coming together real nice. Add some flowers. Just kind of make it feel finished. All right, so in this area, I think I want to build, I'm going to build a maze. Like a little hedge maze. Again, no one's really going to use it, right? But it kind of looks cool. So let's see if I can actually make a complete, a complete maze. So again, you know, it's just, when you're detailing places like this, it's all about using assets in unique ways, right? You know, you don't need an asset for everything. I could have gone and I could have downloaded a maze. Again, it wouldn't be used, but I decided to build it on my own. And I think that, you know, that makes it a lot of fun, and I have to think and be creative. And, you know, I used, like I said, I'm using things that aren't food stands for food stands, and I'm using, you know, I'm making my own plazas, and, you know, I'm using fairy line signage for schedules. I mean, You gotta be creative. You're playing pretend. So what if the building isn't made for that, right? So what? Who cares? It's your game. Do whatever you want. Have fun. Be creative. Don't play with fire. Play with the little fire. Don't actually play with fire. I don't know where fire came from, but that's what I'm stuck on. So let's go ahead and finish up this maze. Alright, and then I want to put something kind of unique in the center. So I'm going to add a little, like, fountain and seating area. Somewhere to just kind of hang out partway through the maze. Add some signs at the entrance and exit. We're going to attach it to the main pathway. And we're going to add more places to sit. Because, you know, what happens if it's hot? Need a place to cool down, refresh, relax. So I haven't actually edited as of the posting any of the other detailing videos yet. So, you know, give me some feedback on if you like the narration over this, or if you'd rather just have like a half-hour episode with some nice chill music and just watch me detail. Because I am willing to give you guys what you want as far as that goes. I'm sure listening to me talk over myself doing things that I don't quite remember that well is about as entertaining as it gets. Let me tell you, I'm quite entertained watching myself at 350% plus speed place bushes. I'm also just talking to, you know, fill the emptiness, which is my brain at the moment. So like I said, you know, go ahead and give me some feedback as, you know, you watch this video on whether or not you actually want me to narrate over my next detail video. So we're gonna line these areas with some bushes, again, kind of bringing life to small areas around here. I don't want anything, again, too big around some of the rides because you don't want plants overhanging these rides. It's kind of dangerous. And I'm gonna add some places to sit. I know spinny rides like teacups, or what's the other one, Tilt-A-Whirl. Those ones, as I've gotten old, have made me very nauseous. And so if I were to go with, you know, people who could spin around in circles, I would probably sit on these benches. So I want people to be able to have lots of places to sit, eat, enjoy, just so that they don't feel alienated just because they don't want to go on a ride, right? You want them to be able to still feel a part of the family and the fun while not having to subject themselves to something they really don't feel like doing. Piggy train, piggy train. And add some nice ramadas over here by the piggy train. I'm gonna finish off the area by the climbing frame with some seats for parents to watch their children, and of course trash cans. And let's go ahead and add a cafe in so people can get more food. And a ferry sign again as a schedule sheet. All right, let's go ahead and move. We're gonna move on to this next section. Merv. We're gonna add some more, more landscaping. Mottos. More trash cans. And again, some ice cream. I love that asset so much. It's so cute. Little spinny cone. I think these big signs are going to be perfect for the little concert area. Not the soda pop little area, though. Oh my god, look at this octopus! Or squid. I think it's an octopus. I didn't have a chance to count his legs. Alright, so let's continue laying lots of places to sit. I mean, if you have, what did we say, a couple thousand-ish, almost 2,000 people, if they can park here, you're going to want a lot of places to sit. And if you have multiple families, you know, how often are you going to sit, let's say, at a bench that holds 7 or 8? With a family, you don't know, right? So you want to give them lots of places to sit. And then we're going to detail this climbing area and give them some more rocks, little bushes. Hi, S'mores. S'mores wants to watch me talk. And of course I'm going to move this into the center because symmetry. And let's add some bushes, trees. And I like these booths because if you put them close together, they make them look bigger. So they look like one large booth versus 3 kind of smaller booths. And we're going to extend this plaza. A lot of times I just find using Move It to copy tiles a lot easier than trying to use the prop line tool. I did find out after doing this how to use the prop line tool more effectively. So when you're laying tiles, you can turn on fence mode, but where you want the edge of the tile to be, I believe. Never mind, don't take my word for it. I can't remember now that I'm not physically doing it. Let's see. Okay. So as you can see, where I want that edge of the tile is where I start my prop line tool. So that was really helpful. So I line it up in the center of the tile and on the edge. So the center up and down and the edge left and right of where I want the next set of tiles to go. And I found that really useful. And so I'm going to lay down some hot air balloons. I really like those. I think that, you know, because they come in various colors, I don't think patterns, but at least colors, I want them here. I don't know how many people are going to ride them, but I just want I want activity. I like activity. I like all these moving parts. I like all the sounds, and there's a lot of reason for tourists to want to come here. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish up. We're nearing the end. So I'm going to kind of landscape a little bit more, and we're going to close up here pretty soon, I think. And honestly, the amusement park tiles are not my favorite, but I'm not going to change tiles just partway through because I don't like them. So we're just going to extend them. You know, it's the kitty zone next to the piggy train. Trash cans. You know, I'm really curious what your guys' favorite, like, fair food is. For me, it's definitely kettle corn. So I lay down a lot of the popcorn machines because of that. Oh man, this is just coming together so nicely. I do think that I filled up a lot of the space. You know, you'd want some empty space for kids to run around, but I just think it really finishes it out. I am so happy with how this turned out. I love the activity of the balloons. I love all the rides. I love the kiddie area. I am so absolutely proud of this. I want to visit myself and go down at ground level and just ride all these rides and enjoy myself. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you guys don't want to hear me talk until I'm purple in the face for the next detailing video and just leave you with some great sound, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions about any of the assets I used or how I did it, also feel free to let me know in the comments. If you want to watch my next video where I build some other things on this Fairground, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get the notifications. And if you really liked it, why don't you just hit that like button? You know, I'm doing this for fun, but I'm also doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. I am having a wonderful time, and I hope you guys are too. So, you know, just thank you for being here. I can't wait to see you in the next one. S'mores and I are going to take a quick look around, and we will see you next time.